A lot of people have heard about the country of Haiti. It is a country in the Caribbean Sea. It shares an island with another country called the Dominican Republic, meaning that both countries are on the same island. When people hear the word Haiti, they often think of many different things. Beautiful beaches with bright blue water, mountains covered in green trees, art, colorful paintings telling stories of everyday life, the sound of drums and music that makes you want to dance. Haiti is a place with a very deep and powerful culture, a culture that has survived many difficult times. But people also hear other stories about Haiti, stories of struggle and hardship. News reports about political problems, gangs, and instability can be frightening. By the way, my name is Jason, and I'm your travel guide today. They paint a picture of a country that is dangerous and unsafe, and it can be hard to know what is true. This confusion makes people ask an important question. Is Haiti safe to visit now in 2026? This question is easy to answer. No, unless you like widespread gang violence, frequent kidnappings, and shortages of basic necessities. To understand safety today, we cannot just look at the headlines. We need to look back in time and understand the country's past. Haiti's history is long with many important moments. These moments shaped the country into what it is today and helps to explain the problems it faces now. We will start from Haiti's earliest days, when it was a French colony. We'll also learn about the Haitian Revolution, a truly incredible event. Then travel to the 20th century and finally arrive back in 2026 and look closely at the current safety situation. My goal is to give you a clear and honest picture of Haiti. Well, let's begin. Long before European ships crossed the Atlantic Ocean, the island was called Hispaniola. It was home to a vibrant civilization of the Taino people who had lived there for centuries. They called their land Haiti, which means land of high mountains. The Taino people were skilled farmers and expert fishers and sailors. They had a rich spiritual life and a close connection to nature. This peaceful existence was shattered in 1492 when Christopher Columbus, sailing for Spain, landed on the island. The Spanish were driven by a powerful desire for gold. They forced the Taino into brutal labor. The colonists brought with them diseases. Within just a few decades, the Taino population was almost completely wiped out. This was a genocide. With the Taino population gone, the Spanish needed a new source of labor. They began to look across the Atlantic Ocean to Africa. It was the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade in Hispaniola. By the late 17th century, the western part of Hispaniola had fallen under French control. The French named their new colony Saint-Domingue. Under French rule, Saint-Domingue was transformed. The colony quickly became the most profitable in the world. To power this massive agricultural machine, the French imported enslaved people from Africa in staggering numbers, transported across the ocean in horrific conditions to face a life of unimaginable cruelty. The slavery system in Saint-Domingue was one of the most brutal ever known. Life for an enslaved person was short and filled with suffering. Any act of resistance was met with severe punishment. Despite the constant threat of violence, the enslaved people of Saint-Domingue resisted. They practiced their own religions like voodoo in secret. They also resisted by running away and forming maroon communities. This spirit of resistance grew stronger and stronger over time. The breaking point came on a stormy night in August 1791. A group of enslaved leaders and maroons gathered for a secret voodoo ceremony at Bois-Cayman. They swore an oath to fight for their liberation. Days later, the northern plains of the colony erupted in flames. The most successful slave rebellion in history had begun. In the midst of this chaos, a brilliant leader emerged, Toussaint Louverture. He built a disciplined army from the rebel forces. In 1802, Napoleon Bonaparte sent a massive army to reinstate slavery. Louverture was captured and deported to France, where he died in a cold prison cell. But the fight for freedom continued under his lieutenant, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Dessalines led the rebels to a final, decisive victory. On January 1st, 1804, he declared the independence of the new nation. He named it Haiti and created the world's first independent black republic. Haiti's victory was a stunning achievement. This should have been the start of a bright and prosperous future. However, the world in 1804 was not ready to accept a free black republic. Powerful nations refused to recognize Haiti's independence, like the United States, Spain, France, and more. They were worried about a slave uprising. Finally, in 1825, French warships arrived off the coast of Haiti to make a demand. France demanded Haiti pay an enormous sum as compensation to compensate the French slaveholders. The demand was for 150 million francs, an impossible amount. Faced with threat of war, Haiti's leaders agreed to pay. The indemnity crippled Haiti's economy for the next century. This meant there was no money to invest in the country's development. The freedom they had won on the battlefield was now being taken away through financial means. As the 19th century turned into the 20th, Haiti remained politically unstable. In 1915, President Woodrow Wilson decided to intervene. He sent hundreds of U.S. Marines to Haiti. The Americans quickly took control. They rewrote the Haitian Constitution to allow foreigners to own land in Haiti. These projects were often done using forced labor. It reminded them of the forced labor of the colonial era. Resistance to the occupation grew quickly. A charismatic peasant leader named Charlemagne Perrault led a guerrilla war against the Marines. Perrault was eventually captured and executed in 1919. His body was displayed in public as a warning to others. The occupation ended in 1934, but it left a lasting and complex legacy, and created a centralized, United States-trained military that would play a powerful and often destructive role in Haitian politics for decades to come. In 1957, a presidential election that brought a country doctor named François Duvalier to power. He was known as Papa Doc. He created a brutal private militia known as the Tontons Macoutes, translated to mean Uncle Gunny Sack, or a boogeyman who kidnaps bad children and stuffs them into his gunny sack. The Macoutes were everywhere. They spied on neighbors, arrested people without cause, and were responsible for the torture and murder of tens of thousands of Haitians. In 1964, he declared himself president for life. Of course, his regime was also deeply corrupt. While the Duvalier family grew incredibly wealthy, the majority of Haitians sank deeper into poverty. When Papa Doc died in 1971, he had arranged for his 19-year-old son, Jean-Claude Duvalier, to inherit the presidency. By the mid-1980s, the Haitian people had had enough. A popular uprising spread across the country. Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier fled to France in exile, February 1986. But transition to a stable democracy proved incredibly difficult. The years after were marked by military coups and political violence. Hope returned in 1990. Haiti held its first free and fair election. Jean-Bertrand Aristide won overwhelmingly. 7 months later, he was overthrown by General Raoul Cedras. Finally, in 1994, the United States threatened a full-scale military invasion, and soon after, U.S. troops landed in Haiti to oversee a peaceful transition of power. Aristide returned from exile to finish his presidential term. The Haitian army was formally disbanded in 1995. However, this left a security vacuum. A United Nations peacekeeping force, known as MINUSTAH, was established to help maintain stability and train a new civilian police force. By early 2004, the country was once again on the brink of civil war. Aristide was forced into exile once again. This recurring cycle of political crisis created a parallel system of NGOs that further undermined state capacity. The country became heavily dependent on international assistance. On the afternoon of January 12, 2010, Haiti was struck by a catastrophic, massive earthquake, magnitude 7, and it hit near Port-au-Prince. The devastation was almost unimaginable. The National Palace crumbled into dust. Hospitals crumbled into dust. The official death toll was over 300,000 people. More than 1.5 million people were left homeless. 1.5 million displaced people lived in sprawling makeshift tent camps. 10 months after the earthquake, a cholera outbreak began and it spread rapidly, infecting hundreds of thousands and killing more than 10,000 Haitians. The recovery effort was slow and fraught with problems. Much of this money was spent through international NGOs and contractors like the Clinton Foundation. This approach was often inefficient, and did not rebuild Haiti's capacity. The 2010 earthquake dramatically changed this dynamic. The earthquake destroyed the main prison, allowing thousands of inmates to escape. As the UN drew down and left in 2017, a security vacuum opened. Gangs seized the opportunity. They seized key infrastructure, ports, fuel terminals. By controlling main roads, they could cut off the city. Kidnapping for ransom exploded. Rival gangs formed powerful alliances. Two major coalitions emerged, G9 Family and Allies and G-PEP. The crisis reached a shocking climax on July 7, 2021. A group of armed commandos stormed the president's private residence and assassinated President Jovenel Moïse. The assassination left a massive power vacuum. The final collapse began in early 2024. The gangs launched a coordinated series of attacks. They targeted key state infrastructure, including the main international airport and the country's two largest prisons. In March 2024, Ariel Henry announced he would resign, marking the complete disintegration of state authority. Given the near-total collapse of state authority, today's safety situation in Haiti is extremely dire. Most foreign governments now issue strict do-not-travel advisories to Haiti. In the capital, powerful gangs control key neighborhoods and roads. Kidnapping, carjacking, and armed robbery remain serious, unpredictable risks. Commercial flights have been suspended for long stretches, and reliable state security is not available. For tourists and casual vacationers, the answer is clear. No, this is not a safe or relaxing destination right now. If you must be in Haiti for essential reasons, register with your embassy, arrange vetted private security, secure a safe place to stay, stock critical supplies, avoid all non-essential movement, and keep a clear evacuation plan. Our journey has shown a land of striking contrasts, born in a revolution for freedom, yet burdened by a long, difficult struggle. That same history is also at the root of Haiti's deep cultural richness and the unbreakable spirit of its people. Is Haiti a fun place at heart? Absolutely. Is it a place you really want to visit in 2026? No. Its culture is vibrant and unique, and its people are known for warmth, humor, and extraordinary hospitality. If history teaches us anything, it's that Haitians are survivors. The spirit that overthrew an empire does not fade. This is a dark chapter, but not the end of the story. One day the airports will reopen, roads will be safe again, and when that day comes, Haiti will need all of us. Until then, let's hope and pray for a more peaceful day for Haiti. Also, let's hope and pray for more time to travel.